Hey out there, Denver music consumers. Today I'm heading to an undisclosed location on the west side of Denver for an exclusive interview with one of Denver's greatest folk musicians, the Lonely Choir. I've been listening to the Lonely Choir's music for about half a year now, and in that time I am convinced that she is hands down one of the best participants in the contemporary Denver folk type scene. I'm going to ask her some interesting questions, and if she's willing to answer them, then she's going to win some free Nicholas comics, which is pretty dang cool. Let's get right into this exciting documentary. Okay, so we are here with
Lonely Choir.
Alright. How'd you get into music?
Ooh.
What first drew you to it?
I think writing little ditties to my mom as a child. I would annoy her quite a bit with some songs as she would clean the house. I would follow her around and sing into the vacuum tube about how cranky she was.
That's the origin story there?
The origin story of the creation of Lonely Choir.
What would you generally cite as your influences?
Ooh, let's see, I like Adrian Linker, Phoebe Bridgers, John Prine. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, because I definitely see a very eclectic mix show up in your work.
When I was breaking up with someone and we were talking, and I went over to his place and he had like 10 boxes of Amazon Alexas everywhere, and I was at an accident, and he was like, no. And then I got kind of jealous that she's... and then I wrote this song in the car on the way home.
Left me for Alexa. She sets alarms and gives reports on the weather. She tells jokes on demand, shuts up when he asks, and she really maintains a round figure.
What would you say you offer to Denver, like the Denver landscape, that nobody else does? What would you say you bring to the table?
Ooh, I would hope that I would bring, people could feel a deeper emotion from hearing some of the lyrics in my songs. I would hope that they'd go home feeling something different rather than just hearing a, typical boppy song. I would hope that they would be challenged with some emotions they don't typically think about.
Kind of ideologically challenged?
Yeah, definitely.
Genre would you say your music is? Because earlier you were saying about how music classifies your stuff as pop, and you don't really agree with that?
Yeah.
What genre do you
Oh,
prefer?
I would say maybe more of like an indie folk.
Indie folk.
Would suit me better. Yeah.
And I say anti-folk.
Oh,
like
yeah,
anti-folk.
I forgot to look at that.
Because anti-folk, I feel like your songs fit more into that because they're a lot more acerbic than typical folk.
Thank you.
That's obviously a positive,
yeah.
Because all too often folk is kind of sentimental, but yours is like you said, it brings up emotions in the average listener that they might not otherwise
Thank you.
dwell on too much.
I appreciate that.
My husband left me for Alexa. I walked in on them cuddling, was messed up, but he turns her on with one touch, where his eye took too long. She really maintains her composure.
Which songs do you think have the most compelling subject matter of yours?
Let's see. Compelling. Well, I played a song, Whistles, tonight. That was one I wrote when I first moved to Denver. And, yeah, I had it on the back burner for a while, but wrote it because I was just feeling pretty saddened by the homeless situation in Denver. So I think that's a pretty compelling song of mine, just thinking of people that are on the streets, and Yeah.
Is that the one that goes Taskmaster?
No, that's
a different one.
That's a different one.
Right.
The Whistles one, I think I played it first. It's a very old song of mine, but...
It's a very old song.
Yeah, just a sad one about driving through Denver and feeling heavy from seeing people out there.
What's your craziest anecdote from playing live music?
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that one.
Nothing very crazy has happened over the course of your career?
Oh, okay. I did, after singing the saddest breakup songs, I introduced someone that was proposing to his girlfriend for marriage after I sang sad songs about my husband leaving me for Alexa. He then came up and proposed to his girlfriend immediately after I sang, so that was pretty funny.
So fuck me like you're around the ball. Call me whatever you want. Call me kitchen echo dot.
Went out and American Idol scouted me, and I met all those Katy Perry and Lionel Richie and Luke Bryan, and they told me I was too folky for their show, but it was still cool to meet them. Got to sing for them in Vegas last year.
We're almost on American Idol.
I was.
You were on American Idol.
I might be. It airs.
Maybe.
Yeah, it airs.
Would you say that the fact that they said you were too folky is proof that you're probably not pop?
Probably. That's a good point. It's a good positive.
Right.
I hadn't thought of that. Yeah.
My husband left me for election. His mother loves him more. She's respectful. No tattoos to call trash or differing opinions. Alexa, racism 90%.
What philosophy do you generally apply when composing a song in the studio?
I think to just be honest. I think I read a quote once that said write a song like your friends and family are dead. So I try to stick to that because yeah, I think brutal honesty is the best way to go, even if people are going to get offended or judge me. I try to still just write whatever I'm feeling. So I try to stick to honesty.
I do think that's a nice policy to apply. It's like, you know, don't beat around the bush. Just go straight for the gut. Yep. What about this new sports EP? How's that fit into the whole Lonely Choir multiverse?
You know, I wrote those songs. Most of those I wrote over COVID time.
Right.
I guess I wrote Alexa a little more recently, but yeah, that was just my first time in a studio, and I was experimenting with it and had a good time recording it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to recording some more stuff.
That was during COVID, and you mentioned that the title sports is because you're not into sports.
Yeah, I hate sports.
It's ironic.
Yeah, sports, if you're watching this, I hate you. Yeah, it's an ironic thing. I thought, you know, what would be a good, funny title for a very serious album? So I thought of sports.
None of the songs even have to do with sports.
None of them.
That's the title of a Huey Lewis and the News album, too.
How is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Do they write about sports?
I don't think so.
Oh. Well,
I forget if it's before or after their album 4.
Okay. I'll have to look that up.
But your early work was a bit too new wave for my taste, but you really come into your own artistically with sports. Or whatever. I don't know. I didn't even like American Psycho, but
Fuck me like you're around the ball. Call me whatever you want. Call me kitchen echo.
what would you say to any aspiring young female musicians who are looking to get into the field here in Denver? Like, what advice would you have for them?
yeah, I guess just make friends, make music friends, go to open mics, go make yourself uncomfortable places, and make some friends along the way, and I think the rest will fall into place.
You think the Denver music industry is pretty productive and pretty good in terms of music scenes?
Yeah, I do. I think there's a lot of talent in Denver, and yeah, it's a pretty creative place.
That's true.
Yeah.
I've heard from radio, like, industry people that, like, LA and Boston and stuff don't even compare to Denver in terms of musical output.
I believe that.
Yeah, I suppose I do.
Election dim my lights. Election kill my wife. Election have my children. A little squad of mini echo dots.
Last question. Where can people find your music, and what shows do you have coming up? Give us some plugs.
People can find my music on Spotify, Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Apple Music, just under Lonely Choir, and shows coming up. Yeah, I'm opening up for Sarah Adams for her EP next week, I think the 25th, Friday. And then, what is it, in May I play some shows in Boulder. I have them all on my website, lonelychoir.com. There's a shows section. I can't remember all of them right now, but there's a whole list of them.
And you have the picture of you eating the cigarettes like they're cereal, right?
Yeah.
That one's great.
That was good.
They have a good aesthetic to them, the kind of pastel tones.
Yeah, my friend Mish, she was a creative genius taking those
shot
pictures.
Those?
Yeah.
They're very visually cohesive.
Oh, she had thought behind each color and each aspect of that photo.
Any parting thoughts you'd like to say to the viewers looking for quality music?
Thanks for listening. I hate sports, and thank you.
Well, what did I tell you, huh, Denver music fans? The Lonely Choir is legitimately, I think, one of the greatest folk acts here in the Denver area. And if you happen to be in the Denver area, you should absolutely check her music out. Come to some of her live shows, support her. I've got some links to her content in the description. I highly recommend her Alexa song. It's an absolute gutbuster, and all her songs are winners, so check them out. That's it for this little music-oriented documentary, keeping you up to date with the most prominent acts here in the Queen City. Until next time, this is Nick Cicada, your roving reporter, saying sayonara, suckers.